Okay, still on the spirit of AFCON, so I want to list out the players that are supposed to be playing for one African country or the other this period of, AFCON. But because of one reasons or the other, they couldn't be able to play for African continent. Okay, so and I'm going to list out some reasons that some things or some one or two things that might be the reason why they decided not to play for their country in Africa. Okay, so but before that, I would like you to subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed. What are you waiting for? Let's get this channel to 2,000. It's a new channel. So the first person is Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is presently playing for France, but he's supposed to be playing either for Cameroon or for Algeria because his both parents, one parent is from Cameroon and the other one is from Algeria. So he is the number one in our list. And the number two is Saka. Bukayo Saka. He is presently playing for England, but that star boy is supposed to be playing for Nigeria now. He is from a Yoruba descent. So these are the stars that we Africans sometimes, while watching Premier League or La Liga or whatever, we felt bad for not having them in our team. Okay, so the third person is the Belgium striker, the wonderful Belgium striker. I'm talking of Romelu Lukaku. He's presently playing for Belgium, but he's supposed to be playing for Republic of Congo. Is the Democratic Republic of Congo, but that Superman is presently playing for Belgium. It is very, very bad. Okay, it is very, very bad because he is a good player. These players are wonderful. Okay, so the another one on our list is Alphonso Davies. Alphonso Davies, the guy is supposed to be playing for Liberia or Ghana, but he is presently playing for Canada. I'm talking of Alphonso Davies. He's presently playing for Canada instead of Ghana. And Ghana really, in this present condition of black stars, they need this guy. Okay, so moving forward, on our list is Jamal Musiala. Okay, the guy could be playing for Nigeria, but he is presently playing for Germany. Okay, he is presently playing for Germany. It seems like Nigeria has the highest number of, I'm not sure, it's like DR Congo, because when you come to France, if you check national team of France, almost all of them are Africans of African descent. Okay, then moving forward on our list, we have Memphis Depay, the guy that's, the wonder guy that plays for Netherlands. The guy is supposed to be playing, he could be playing for Ghana, but he is presently playing for Netherlands. Ghana, these are the talents that you guys are missing in your team. And another person on our list is the Portuguese Rafael. He could be playing for Angola, but the guy is presently playing for Portugal. I'm talking of Rafael Leao. He's supposed to be playing for Angola, but he is presently playing for Portugal. Another person on our list is the USA guy, Timothy Weah. Everybody knows, he could be playing for Liberia, considering the fact that his father, is a legend in African football history. There's no how you would talk about football in Africa, the legend, those guys that made things happen, without mentioning the likes of George Weah, okay, being his father. But look at the guy is presently playing for USA. He's supposed to be playing for Liberia. And then the next person on our list is this France guy. His name is Aurélien Tchouameni. His name is Aurélien Tchouameni. He's supposed to be playing for Cameroon, but he is presently playing for France. I'm talking of Aurelien. So the guy, I don't know how you guys pronounce his name, but as an African, I pronounce it the way I could be able to pronounce it. So the guy is presently playing for France. He's supposed to be, playing for Cameroon. So I think Cameroon needed a guy like this in their sport. And then let's dig deep to, Nigerians. Let me list out most of Nigerians that are supposed to be playing for Nigerian Super Eagles. We really need these guys. We really needed these guys in our squad. If we have all these guys in our squad, there's no how we wouldn't be competing for World Cup. That was what Eto'o of Cameroon complained about, that Africans supposed to be playing. In fact, that was supposed to be winning World Cup. In fact, there was a time on interview, they were interviewing Mourinho. Mourinho said that if he is to make to be the FIFA president, that if he has the right to to issue some rules and regulations, that he would never allow an African to play for European country. That Africa has, they have many talents that are supposed to be playing for them, but rather they are playing for European countries and other. That if these guys are playing for Africa, that there's no way Africans will not be doing well in World Cup. Everybody knows that Jose Mourinho is in love with African players. Those guys used to give him what he wanted in football. So he always consider using them. If you look at Chelsea team, when he was in Chelsea team, he was using Mikel Drogba and the likes of them. And even presently, even in Roma, he bought Tammy Abraham. So he said that he loved using these guys, even Lukaku. Okay, so in Nigeria we have Madeke. Madeke is playing for England, but Madeke is supposed to be playing for Nigeria. We have Solanke. Solanke is supposed to be playing. Madeke is from Igbo descent. Solanke is from Yoruba. So these guys are supposed to be playing for Nigeria, but they are presently playing for England. And then we have Barkley. Barkley is supposed to be playing for Nigeria, but he's playing for England. And also we have Eze. He's of Igbo descent as well. He's playing for England instead of Nigeria. We have Jones, supposed to be playing for Nigeria, but England. We have Abo. He's supposed to be playing for Nigeria, but he's presently playing for England. And we have Tomore. Tomore is supposed also playing for Nigeria, but he's playing for England. And we have Adara Boyo. He's supposed to be playing for England. He's of Yoruba descent, but he's playing for England. And also we have Olise, an Igbo guy that's supposed to be playing for Nigeria, but he is presently playing for England. I don't know what you guys saw. I don't know. I don't want to go deep, I don't want to dig deep about Africa, whatever. But you guys, I wouldn't say more because I think it's their choices. And then we have Goodman. Goodman also supposed to be playing for Nigeria, but he is presently playing for England. Now let's dig deep why all those things are, happening. One must say that it is their choice, that it is what they choose to do. But I must say that sometimes it's not their choice because they love the motherland. They love Africans very, very well. They love Africa. There is no how they are going to deny Africa. They will still find their route to Africa, just like Anthony Joshua is presently. He's a British boxer, but he always represents the country. And also, but deep inside him, he felt more of Nigeria, in terms of relationship and all that, because you never forget your roots. So this guy is supposed to be, doing one or two things to help the motherland to, be a better example to the world. But one thing happens to one thing leads to another. They couldn't be able to, represent their country. Number one is we need to build our club, like our local club. We need to, look into our local club. We need to bring more investors. We need to build them. There's no how our local club will be underperforming, and you would expect, somebody that we get a higher pay in Europe to come and be playing for your local league that is not well managed, that is not well funded. that is not well funded. Are you getting me? Yes, we need sponsors in our local league. If we can be able to, fish out those talents, get them young, invest in our local league, bring investors, sponsors, always try as much as we can to televise this to the world. Let them see those, let them see what we can do. If we can be able to make charity begins at home, if we can be able to, fish out those stars by ourselves, and invest in them and invest in our local league, so that this guy will start at the grassroots will be from our country, and then from there they develop. Before they know it, they've already played with our jersey, and there's no how they will swap. But if you find out that these guys, first of all, when they discover their talents and they want to go back to their roots, they notice that in Africa, that if they choose to play for Africa, that the world are not going to notice them, and African clubs are not going to manage them well. So they will now relax. If he's an England-born player, Nigeria England-born player, why would a Nigeria England-born player come to Nigeria to play in our local league when they have the likes of Everton and other academic clubs there? He would prefer, the same person would prefer to play there, and by playing there, they will get influenced by English league, and before you know it, they play for the country, because number one, they will get paid, they will be taken care of. I remember those days when a player has injury, they would ask the player to go and treat himself. Everybody knows that injury was considered in playing for the country. But then they will ask the player to go to go and treat himself, and if the player is not financially okay, the player will end up being an injury player for forever. He might not be able to play again just because of lack of players management. So all those things, if we can be able to be funding our local club, let these guys consider playing for a club in Nigeria than England. I know it's very difficult, but at least we are not expecting a local English club, a local Nigeria club, African club, to be paying $150,000 a week. But at least if we can be able to be paying at least $50,000 a week, $50,000 a week, those guys will consider playing. That one is aside. Then on the area of playing for the national team, you find out that in the national team, everybody want to play for England. Everybody wants to play for France. And what are the cause? The cause is the management as well. It still boils down to management. How are the country taking care of the national team? How are we taking care of the national team? How? The coaches there, are they performing? Did they have say in players outside Nigeria? You see somebody will be playing 10 in the clubs there, but when they come back to Nigeria, they play 7. They play out of their position. In English club or in other European club, they will be looking out for their players. Have a say in their players. Take care of them. Call them often. Are you getting me? If we can be able to be taking care of our players, taking care of our national team, giving them enough funds, whenever the occasion arises, those guys will be happy to be playing for the club. These are the things that these guys sees, and they prefer playing for those European clubs because of lack of management, lack of represent. Like we have those funds, but we don't want to bring it out. We don't have sports in our interest. It doesn't interest us to invest more on the sports, to attract foreign investors, to attract those of our guys out there. It doesn't interest us. All we know how to do is to play politics and do whatever. Sports is among the things that brings funds to the country. If we can be able to invest in our sports, the country will be rich. Brazil, there was a time, Brazil, their source of income, their major source of income is football. Because Brazil, they invested. They know they don't have that much mineral resources or whatever. then the only point of attraction they could be able to develop is sports, and they were able to do it, and they produced a lot of legends and presently, star playing players. I think it's time we look into our club, get them funded, take care of those players. Let the management be serious. Bring coaches that would, explore our local teams, explore our local build academies, bring foreign investors. Always, a player supposed after playing for England, they're supposed to come and finish their career in Africa. They're supposed to come and finish their career in motherland, just like other, just like Ronaldinho, other players in Europe or South America or America. After playing for, they will come and it's only Rashidi Yakini that was able to do it in Nigeria. They suppose at least come back and play before they retire. Even if they play for other countries in their club side, they're supposed to come and retire in their motherland. Showing respect, showing value is paying back to the value that the country placed on them. So I think we should do better. As AFCON is going on, we should look into all the matters that relates to this, and then we'll fish out some ways to make it a better place. Like I always say, it's peace and love. One Africa. Let's stay. Let's watch the game and let the best team win, as I always say. Peace.